What's up, everybody? You know what time it is. Grab your coffee and let's talk. Welcome, welcome, welcome. I am MiZZ Entertainment, president of the Real As People Society. And one of the hosts of Coffee Talk, where we have bold conversations on topics that matter. Serving you up one hot coffee at a time. So I'm not in the place alone. Let me introduce my co-host. We're going to first start off with Mr. A.D. Slaton.
What up, what up, what up? I always wanted to play a DJ on TV.
Oh. Well, here you go. And we got DJ Talented on sound engineering. What's up?
What's happening? What's happening? What's happening?
All right. So before we start, I always want to just make sure, do the temperature check. How have your week been going?
My week has been, it's been a week, Teresa. It's been
life is life.
Life be life.
Yeah.
But, I got to take it one day at a time.
That is. That's all you can do.
Yeah.
DJ Talented?
Is it over yet?
Not quite.
One more day. Well, actually two.
Well, my week has been, I don't know. I laughed this morning when I was talking to DJ Talented, and I was like, what you doing? I said, I just got off the call, and I bust out laughing. I was like, how you ain't got no job? You just got off a call. Got off a Zoom call. That's how my life been since I have moved into a different direction, I put it like that. Mm-hmm. So we can concentrate on the things I need to concentrate.
Yeah, like I was actually on my way here today. I was talking to my grandmother, and she's going through cancer treatment and all of that. So we were just talking and connecting, and I had to sit back and just say thank you, Granny. I was like, we were just talking about all the various people in our family. Mm-hmm. And I was just like, you know what? Just without you, we wouldn't be here, right? Yeah. We wouldn't be doing the things that we're doing. I was just like, because she's getting up in age, and I know she's going through whatever she's going through, and I just felt it in my spirit, Teresa, MiZZ Entertainment, that it was just like, hey, why not now? Why shouldn't I just tell her thank you? You know what I'm saying?
While she's here to receive it.
While she's here to receive it, rather when she's in that casket, right? Mm-hmm. And just wishing I could tell her that. So.
Right. What part of town? Is she in another state?
No, she's in Powder Springs.
Well, you need to be up there telling her face to face.
I will. But I just, it's just something I felt today. I just had to do it.
Yeah, maybe go ahead on and just tell her face to face.
I will.
Just do a pop-up.
You know what? I am.
Yeah, just do a pop-up.
And why not today, right?
Why not today?
Bet.
There we go. All right. You ready? Y'all ready for our topic? So the topic of today is Pews, prayers, and pretenders. Those church folks that's doing the devil's work in disguise. So I'm going to open it up by asking a question, and maybe I'm wrong. Am I expecting too much for people to say they're godly, they're the preacher, or whatever the case may be, to act more godly?
First of all, what does it mean to be godly?
I guess not out here lying, not out here cheating people, not out here fornicating. You're walking a walk that you're preaching.
Oh boy! So all right, this is a bit of controversy for me. Because,
okay, let's hear it.
Because it's like to deny that part of you is to not be human. Like, how do you? Okay, I understand you walk with God, you live righteous, you go to church on Sundays and X, Y, and Z. But there's a human side of you that you have to contend with, which they typically call, you have sin, the sin side. Mm-hmm. But what I don't typically see is people embracing the human side of themselves, right? That's probably that's what I noticed, when in regards to, expecting something from people who are, religious, mm-hmm. is the human side. Display that. And I think that's probably where you're not being real comes in for me.
I look at it as no, they're displaying the human side. They just not displaying the godly side. That's what I mean.
I see what you're saying.
Yeah, those that in disguise. Mm. And then when something hits, then their true self comes out. Like, you can be talking about I'm this and God that, and, I believe in this and I am this. But when your back is against the wall, or, when you're like here recently where we performed a service and that godly person, before there was time to exchange that money, God this, and we're going to do this, and we don't do that. And then after, when I was asking, like, hey, it's time to pay up, I give you your little money. Wait a minute. Hold on. Now I see the real you. All that godly stuff, that was pretend. That was in disguise.
That was a mask.
Yeah. That was a mask. But that real you is not wanting to do what you agreed to do.
Integrity.
Yeah.
Do what you say you're gonna do.
Yes.
Interesting. So, all right, and for me, then that's like, folks are being, in that case, like that particular person is more of like, hey, the God in theory versus God in practice, right?
Yeah.
God in theory is like, all right, go to church. I'm reading my Bible. I say yes, I'm gonna do this. But in practice, having integrity is the practice, like actually taking that action. Right, and God is like, hey, yes, good works require action. Mm-hmm. Right, if she don't take that action, then you're not really living in that.
So you don't need to be in a pulpit to me.
There you go.
Need to be out there in the pews asking for forgiveness.
There you go.
But when you're in that pulpit, that's where I have, and that's like, am I asking too much for you to walk what you're preaching?
If you say you ain't got it, I ain't got it. If you don't have it, just say it. Why? I mean, I messed up. I didn't mean to agree to it, baby. I have it tomorrow.
I give you your little money.
Yeah,
Little, when you sign that goddamn contract, how about that?
Oh, it's contract.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yes.
Yeah, I missed that part. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, that's legal stuff. Yeah.
I know, and then why I got to go to that?
Yeah.
When again, you in that pulpit, you're preaching about being godly.
Mm-hmm.
How about that? How about exercising what you said you was gonna do? That's the part that.
Did you just close the doors on them? Close the door.
Ready to drop this mic, but I need my money first.
Deacon, close the doors. We about to get this money.
Yeah, I closed the doors on him. We should have closed the door. Do that reverse.
Yeah, right.
Like I said, and I get they're human, but I guess, am I putting you on a pedestal when you profess to be the right hand of God, but yet you act like you're the right hand of the devil?
Yeah. I don't think you put them on a pedestal because they took that position. They took that role. Hey, I'm a leader. I'm a pillar in the community as a leader of a church. You're a pillar of the community. So we expect and we hold you to a certain accord, right? So you held him to that accord, and he fell short. Then that's how I see it. So I don't see it as you were expecting too much. Like, you were expecting what you expected because that's the relationship you guys had, right? That's the status. So follow through, bro.
Yeah, it's definitely hits harder when it's somebody, especially that looks like you, and that one that would just by looking like you, but then take that position of I am the right hand of God.
Yeah.
So it definitely hits harder than somebody out in the street.
Yeah.
So it's just confusing, and then the people wonder why people have stopped going to church.
Yeah. Yeah. Absolutely. And it's because of experiences like that.
All
right. Yeah.
And they have the nerve to talking about that all the other preachers are ungodly. I was like, now that's funny.
Sound like he was projecting.
Yeah. I was like, I don't know.
Yeah.
You got anything, DJ Dollar?
I only go to church for myself.
True.
I take the word and put it in perspective of my life. I don't put my trust in a man because they always allow themselves to be compromised. I'll say it that way. Compromised, whether it's with women, whether it's with money, whether it's with you this way with this person and you this way with another person. Some preachers even talk about people or give, one of their friends, talk to one of their friends about somebody else's business. That's not what a preacher's supposed to do. So I just think of it as me going for myself, my salvation, and it's just a word coming out of their mouth, but I put it into my own perspective.
Yeah, and I say I don't condone the adultery with the preachers and the women, but I understand. Because I look at sometimes you sit back and you just look at these heifers just throwing themselves at this man. That's like, what are you doing? I don't condone it, but I'm gonna do like the Chris Rock. I understand.
Yeah. And going back to what DJ Talented said, it's personal. Like if you're going to, like for me, and this is probably why I don't go into a physical church like every Sunday, is because it's a personal relationship with your higher being, whoever you call it, right? And having that personal relationship empowers you to do the things that we talked about, having that integrity and being present, right? And if you're so caught up in like, hey, and dogma, then you're gonna see what you said, right? In regards to these women in these provocative outfits trying to entice the preacher, all right? But if they were taking it like personal and not, hey, this is for my mom, or this is because my people has always done this. If we just sit back and be like, all right, this is a personal relationship I'm developing, and I choose to develop it here in this house, whatever house that is, then you still get that wherever you are. You take it with you,
right?
So that's why I'm with DJ Talented, and it's like, hey, as long as it's a personal relationship, it don't matter where you are, you can receive that blessing or that word from God, right? So
I agree. We had we call it, well, I always got a nickname for everything.
Oh, boy.
And we do serve, and we do volunteer, and we do visit other establishments, just to and being invited or just to see. Yeah. And what I call that tomfoolery.
Oh, boy.
When I see that going on, that's like,
red flag.
Yes, but but then it's fascinating just to watch, because then it takes me back. I guess it depends on the foolery, but it reminds me of back in the day when you had a Jimmy Swaggart and all that nonsense that went on in the church.
Yeah.
And all the theatrics. Put it like that.
I like how you call it theatrics. It's theater.
Theatrics that's going on, and it's like, then you look at the people, everybody, they running down the aisles. Nothing against the people that have that true. They need to get that energy, but you could tell them ones is looking to see if anybody looking.
Yeah, absolutely can.
Falling out all over the place.
Yeah.
Tomfoolery, that's what I call it.
And it's interesting we're talking about what's going on in the church. So I'm going to bring up a topic.
Yes, what you got?
So my nephew, and I'm related through my wife, was tragically murdered on Friday, I forget which date it was. But so we're dealing with that, and so I'm interested to see how the topic of tomfoolery plays in the, because as black people we tend to have theater in church, especially in a funeral. Right? So it's like
I get my most jokes and material from funeral.
Right. So I mean, but I mean, in the back of my head, I'm just thinking about my family. So I just wanted they're listening, they're looking. I got you. I love you guys. The Rushes and the Slatons. Rest in peace, Monte. So, yeah, I just wanted to get that out, man. Monte was a good dude, man.
Condolences goes to you guys and your family. But let's get to the tomfoolery.
Oh, let's get to the tomfoolery because it's going to be some tomfoolery.
Is there any tomfoolery going on now?
Yeah. Yes, but, because it's going on immediately, I don't want to say exactly, but I'm going to hold my tongue. But what I will say is that Tyler Perry has hit a nerve. That's all I'm going to say. But when I say that, it's because most of his scripts, he's pulling from the tomfoolery that's going on inside of black families. That's all I say.
He just showing you and getting paid for it. That y'all experience for free.
Yeah. So yeah, I'll talk more about it. I wanted to just say that one thing about it.
And we was talking earlier. I was saying that you said you think some folks are out of character. I was like, no. When they are actually showing their true selves.
Yeah.
The other, when everything is great, that's the pretender. That's that representative. But who I always say when a funeral comes, you're going to see the true people. And don't let money be involved. Mm-hmm. You see their true selves. And please believe that. Even after the funeral is over, remember what you saw during that funeral. Because that is really them.
Wow.
That is really them. You're seeing the true them.
Because they can't have that mask up. You know.
They can't have that mask up. And don't let money be involved. Ooh, you truly see who's rocking with you and who's not.
Yeah. All right. Wow.
You truly see.
Yeah.
Tomfoolery. And it's bad, but hey. I get a lot of material to talk about.
So the question of the day from me is, will AI fix it?
AI won't fix that, because that's their true selves.
Yeah.
I remember one funeral it was that they having like they marching in. Like, I don't know, it was just weird to me. Mm-hmm. It was a whole, even though I know she was sad that it was her daughter, but you could see that tomfoolery, the falling all out and blah, blah, blah. Now, when the child needs you, you wasn't doing none of that. None of that.
Preach. That's all I'm going to say, preach.
None of that.
Yeah.
But now, maybe that was for real, all that guilt.
Yeah.
Maybe that was that guilt that was kicking that ass.
Yeah. That's unfortunate. Yeah.
But yeah, a lot of tomfoolery. And then the wake. What's that? No, the repast. The repast.
I think I'm going to talk about that next week because it's this Saturday.
Sit back and watch and listen. Listen at all the conversations. Man, I told my husband, I was like, if him and my daughter, if something ever happened to me during my funeral, I was like, I want security at the door. It's going to be invitation only. Because what you won't do is sit up at my funeral talking shit about me. Because I've seen that. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, this was a funeral that, I'm getting to know folks.
Yeah.
And she is related. And she's sitting up there talking shit about the person that passed away in that girl funeral. And I made it up then. I said, I need security. And I need just an invitation only. If you didn't like me when I was alive, I'd be damned if you sitting up there talking shit about me. And I say, if y'all don't have it, I will hump your ass.
Like, what do you do? What do you do about people like that? Like, how do you handle that?
Don't. I don't have too much. I don't say anything to her. I really don't. That's like, because that's not the only thing she's done. That's just one of the worst things she's done.
Yeah.
And I think family, for the sake of family, like to sweep some of that bad behavior under the rug or don't address it. And that's why they continue doing the same shit all the time. So it's just like I can't. My sanity and my peace is more important than anything in this world. There's no price tag on that.
There's no price tag on that.
So if you're not bringing any kind of positivity, then I don't care whether you're family or not. You will not be part of my circle. Now, I can be cordial and speak. And this heifer half speak. Most of the time, she didn't speak. She's going to sit up there at a funeral at her relatives and don't speak the majority of the family.
What?
Yes.
How dare she?
Niggles. It's like, how you bring that much hell into the church?
Oh my gosh. Imagine, well, you know what, for the sake of the audience, imagine what's going on in her life. Like, if she exuding all that shit, her life is possibly shit, right?
Yeah. It's
You know
just
what I'm
like, how you do that?
Yeah.
Because to me, you come in a church, you need to let all that go.
Yeah.
That is your cleansing.
Yeah.
And you come out with a better attitude. But you can't go in, with hell and still come out with even more hell.
Right.
Who does that?
Yeah.
Why even go?
Speak what you want.
Why
And your
even
actions
go?
will follow, I'm telling
Yeah.
you.
But
Wow.
yeah.
I love this. This is really misentertainment, but real talk. This is how our conversations are really like. When we sit down and talking, like misentertainment and AD, when we're talking, like it's generally like this, right? We banter back and forth and just have conversation.
We
right?
having conversation. That's what it is. Coffee talk.
Coffee talk.
Did I raise up my coffee? Oh yeah, I did.
I got a big ass jug of coffee.
All right. Are we done? Got anything else? Any final thoughts? DJ Talented?
I just say fuck people sometimes,
Yeah.
The situation is there's a lot of people that is hurt. Somehow they're hurt. But they take it out on the wrong people. So like instance at work, there's this guy, I don't know what happened to him before he got to work, but he get to work and just snapping on everybody. But then 10, 15 minutes later, he come around apologizing. Buddy, you done fucked that issue up. Don't snap on me because of something didn't happen outside of work. I didn't do nothing to you. So don't come at me like that. He, again, apologized and I'm like, okay, whatever. Go about your business. That's it.
That's it?
Yes.
Final
Wow.
thoughts? AD, what you got on it?
Final thoughts. Words are powerful. Like the saying that, sticks and stones may break my bones and words will never hurt me.
That's a lie.
It's a lie.
Mm-hmm.
And the challenge that I'm taking upon myself is to be present, right, and not live in the past or the future. It's to be right now, and in that and knowing that my source has me, right, and through all of this, because it's gonna be good times, bad times. It's like, how do you be? So I'm a big believer in like yin yang, right, but being that the gray line between the good and the bad. Being above, like being.
I'm sorry. The Yin Yang twins came in. And did a whispering.
Yin yang and the thing.
Sorry.
But it's like
you
being
trying to make a point. My bad.
but like being able to accept both, right? That's where I am, and that's the journey that I'm on. So I'm just gonna continue that.
All right.
Yeah.
All right, now I don't leave without an inspirational quote. So my inspirational quote is, protect your peace by keeping real ones around you. People who speak the truth, not lies or hate. You can only truly grow when you're surrounded by people who are authentic and genuine. All right, join us every week on Coffee Talk here on Terradome Entertainment. You can go to Terradome ENT on YouTube and catch this and other podcasts. I am your president, MiZZ Entertainment. You can contact me at MiZZ _entertainment_ATL. All right, AD, how can folks contact
At AD
you?
Slaton, ADSLATON on the LinkedIn, on YouTube, Instagram, wherever you find AD Slaton, that's generally me.
All right. DJ Talented.
DJ Talented _1.
All right. And as always, I'll leave you with this. Be kind to each other. Love one another. Keep God first. I want to thank all my sponsors. And we're out.